made a fool.
That stretches the sanity of the mind.
To me, exile, quickly!
The special ones.
To me, exile, quickly!
Grasping coils. Heavy guard. Grasping coils.
I need more mana.
Heavy guard.
Irrelevant!
A cascade of pain.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Stand still.
Hi there. So how does the build work? Number 1, Inpulsa. Inpulsa has a corpse explosion. So if an enemy is shocked, their corpse explodes, dealing lightning damage, which cannot shock. So to clarify, only the lightning damage cannot shock. If Inpulsa would do cold damage, for example, it would shock. And what we do for that is we get a Call of the Brotherhood ring, which converts lightning damage to cold damage. So the cold damage that Inpulsa would be doing with explosion will actually shock. I mean, not will, but may. It has an ability to. And for it to actually shock, we get the Elementalist Shaper of Storms. It does provide two things. The main one, all damage can shock. What it implies is that our cold damage can also shock not only the lightning damage as it is by default. Number 2, a great, amazing addition is your hits always shock. What it means is that our hits have 100% chance to shock. So we don't need to scale any shock additionally. Shock chance, I mean. And here is me in Blood Aqueduct, Act number 9. As you may see, I have nothing here. I have a belt for the stats, for dexterity and strength additionally. I have a Quicksilver for movement speed. I have the ring, as I said. I have Inpulsa, as I said. And 3 gems. Herald device allows us to chain explode well. And it also works well with our, over here, the Agent of Destruction. So chance to freeze, shock, and ignite. We do need ignite a bit, and we do need freeze because it allows us to proliferate, like, additionally the explosions. So Vortex, it's just a trigger. Frostblink, both a trigger and additional movement speed skill. And Herald device allows us to do chain explosions. So Herald device on, and see as I go. So 3 things to talk about. Number 1, league starting. Number 2, least required items, and number 3, their prices. So league starting, it's a yes or a no. It's a yes, maybe, but generally it's a no. So to clarify, you will need at least like 80 cows on average, 80 cows to actually make the build work. And you will need to invest around 150 cows if you will want your build to work smoothly. So it would be running as it should, all right? And it depends how you view the things, how you get the currency. So if you are number 1, a very fast farmer that farms currency very well, and you can, like, by the time you get to, let's say, maps, you will be having like around 100 cows, you surely can build start with this build. Or if you just like hope to be lucky and get exalt by the time you start maps, you also will be able to run this build very well from the league start. But if you don't have a good strategy to farm, or if you don't have like if you don't hope like if you are not lucky to get an exalt or some big drop before the maps, you will be just playing a casual regular witch with rare or regular unique items, but not this build exactly. Also, another thing to mention is the Inpulsa. Inpulsa's lowest required level is 68, so the first time you will be able to play this build is going to be after you finish you finish your acts, so the start of the maps, level 68. So that's not soon at all. It depends how you view, how you want, how you desire. Now, talking about the prices, there are only 2 required items that you must have for the build to work: is Impulse's Broken Heart and Call of the Brotherhood. I've purchased those items in League. Impulse's Broken Heart for like 45, 50 cows. Call of the Brotherhood for around 30 to 35 cows. Now, these are the only 2 items that are required for the build to run, but if you want your build to run smoothly, you will need 4 medium cluster jewels that have Agent of Destruction notable on it. Also, a large or a medium cluster jewel, it comes in both sizes, with Blast Freeze notable. And it would be a number 3 priority. Like a small addition that is very nice is Diversion Herald device. Um, so prices over here. Agent of Destruction, 4 medium cluster jewels. They cost around 1 to 5 cows per one, so you will need 4 of them. Blast Freeze, 5 to like 25 cows. That's the price I remember. And the last one is the Virgin Herald device. This is a low priority, small but great addition to the build. Um, if that's cheap, you can surely purchase it sooner. But I'm not sure, but I feel like I've purchased it like probably after a week from league start, or maybe even 2 weeks after league start, for like a half of an exalt or maybe a full exalt. I'm not sure. Um, then why do you need chance to freeze? Why do you need blast freeze? So first of all, blast freeze. How that works? If, let's say, if there are multiple enemies, so 1 enemy, 2 enemy, 3 enemy, 4 enemy, 5 enemy, so let's say you hit one of them. If that enemy freezes, the freezes will go to nearby enemies as well. So let's say you hit 2 enemies, and one of them freezes, other doesn't. The one that does freeze will also provide the freeze to other enemies, including the one that didn't freeze. Um, so that just makes sure that everybody in a pack of mobs freezes. Why do you need freeze? Same thing with the here Agent of Destruction, chance to freeze. Why do we need chance to freeze? Chance to freeze is mainly needed for the Herald device. How does the Herald device work? So if you freeze an enemy and the enemy dies while being frozen, they will explode. Their explosion will allow packs to chain explode. So you hit only part of a pack, an entire pack explodes. Play styles. I got two of them. I got the one that is more safe and a bit less fun, and other that is very easy to understand, very easy to play, and doesn't like that. You don't have to bother about much, but it will get you some additional deaths. So first one, the more safe and a bit less fun is when you use Frost Blink. Only when you see pack of creeps, you use Frost Blink and then you use Vortex right away. So here's how that looks. Frost Blink, Vortex. Frost Blink, Vortex. Frost Blink, Vortex. Frost Blink, Vortex. Alright, so this is the number one playstyle that is the most safe, that will get you really far. You will not be dying as often. Number two playstyle is if you just go numb and go hold down the Vortex button. So in that case, if you hold down the Vortex button, it will be spawning Vortex by every cooldown. So in my case, it's 0.79 seconds. What problem you may get into with this is if you just get randomly unlucky that your Vortex activates and then right away use Frost Blink and there's a pack of creeps, you will not have your Vortex for next like 80 to like 0.8 to 1 second. And you will be looking at the mobs here, but because Frostblink may not always kill the whole pack. It does good amount of damage, but if enemies, let's say, are like very thick because they have extra life, extra cold resistance, I don't know, whatever else kind of resistances they may have from damage, they may not die from Frostblink, and for next whole second or so, you will not have Vortex. You will not have Vortex, and you may just simply get bursted in that second. I did die this time, this way, multiple times, probably like tens of times. Um, so I got some list of key tips and suggestions. They're not the only things that they are, but they're the ones that I have on mind. So what would that be? Number one would be implicit on made from harvest. So implicit over there, you can see 10% chance to avoid being stunned. You can craft this from harvest yourself on jewels, and you should craft as many of these as possible so you just simply would not be stunned, because being stunned is not nice, right? um, Number two, ring swap for boss fights. You do not need Call of the Brotherhood for boss fights because it converts the lightning to cold damage, and it's only useful for the Inpulsa explosions. And explosions are is the only thing that happens when you farm mobs. But when you farm the bosses, you don't need this ring. You can get a different one. So with this ring, I have 49 energy shield, 4900, and with the unique one, I have 4674. So I go up to 225 additional energy shield by changing the ring. Also, I get +1 to minimum frenzy charges. Therefore, I get 4% more damage and 4% increased attacks cost and attack speed. So, yep, that would be a number two. What's on the next list? Keep Immortal Call low level to match your strength. So Immortal Call is over here. As you may see, it is gem level 6, and I did not level it any higher. Why? Because of the strength limit. My current strength is 114. If I will level up, maybe I actually can level it up more, but generally you just need to keep it like close to your strength, because in this build you will lock strength a lot and you want to be somewhere nearby the requirement, because obviously you cannot, like, if you will go gem level let's say 9, you certainly will not have enough strength, and there's just no point. There's not much difference. The general, like, less elemental damage taken, less physical damage taken, it's not changing much. It's changing a bit. So it's not really a big deal. Next thing, apply Elemental Catalyst to Call of the Brotherhood to receive 48% conversion. So over here, as you may see, the pre-lost blue line says 40% of lightning damage converted to cold damage, and when I remove alt, it says 48% of lightning damage converted to cold damage. How I got 48 is that I have applied a catalyst, elemental damage modifier. So this one, I think turbulent. Yep, elemental damage modifier. So it changes the elemental stats. Therefore, from 48%, I got to 48. Right. Next on the list, keep Arcane Surge low level in a scepter, so it would always trigger from every activation of Hydrosphere. So that is right here. I have Divergent Arcane Surge support level 10. So why Divergence? So it would last additional 2 seconds. So from 4 it goes to 6. And then level 10. Why level 10? Because Hydrosphere over here costs 78 mana. 78 mana. And Arcane Surge over here activates from 64 mana. So if I would level up right now to level 11, it would activate from 80 mana. Therefore, meaning that I would not be getting Arcane Surge right here buff from every cost of my spell. So every time the Hydrosphere drops down, I get Arcane Surge. And if I would have more, then if I would have level 11, it would cost 80 mana. So I could not have enough. So that the Hydrosphere would not spend enough mana to activate the Arcane Surge constantly. It would not be activating Arcane Surge constantly, but only like once per 2 response, for example. And I would want it to have on me like per each respawn to be on. Get cooldown recovery rate on boots and belts. So here I have the pre-lost blue mode. Increase cooldown recovery. The same thing you can get on your belt. Same thing. Also, get added spellfire damage while holding shield or alike. For 2 things, Cinder Swallow Urn and Saris class are notable. So, what I mean by that is you need to get you see the last over here, last blue mode, 18 to 24 added spellfire damage while holding shield. Why I need that is for 2 things. Number 1 is the Cinder Swallow Urn. The pre-lost blue mode says enemies ignited by you during flask effect take 9% increased damage, and to ignite there is no threshold. You can do even just 1 fire damage and have a chance to ignite. You will ignite anyway, anyhow. And then and another thing here is the saddest. One of the things, the second one, it says 20% increase elemental damage if you have ignited an enemy recently. And this thing over here with the added spell fire damage, it will allow me to ignite enemies, and that will like provide me additional damage. Next thing, best helmet enchants. I got on the list Hatred, has 15% reduced mana reservation. It actually may be called right now differently due to the change of the like previous change of the names of those things, like reservation efficiency. I'm not sure. So next one is Herald Device has 60% mana reservation efficiency. Next one is Vortex has 30% increased cooldown recovery rate. And next one is 40% increased Vortex damage. So these are the helmet enchants. The glove, there's only one great glove enchantment is trigger Decree of Frost on kill. So once you kill an enemy, it will spawn around you like a circle of frost blades that will shoot out in different directions, and they do good amount of damage. I think the damage can be increased by like increasing your cold stuff on the tree and like on your items and stuff. I'm not sure, but I think so. Anyhow, I think that works pretty fine, and I think it does blow up packs occasionally as well. Next thing, best boot enchantments. 70% increase mana regeneration rate if you've cast a spell recently. Next one is 10% increase movement speed if you haven't been hit recently. And the last one is 80% chance to avoid being stunned if you have killed recently. So these are all out of the tips that I have gotten in mind myself. You probably should purchase Rim Gaze Mind Cage at level 65 when you can actually equip it, because in my opinion it is incredibly powerful, strong, useful, helpful item that costs nothing. Costs 1 to 5 cows, like maximum 5, minimum like 1 generally, and it does provide you insane amount of damage. It allows you to make a 5 link of a gem. It gives you insane amount of energy shield, and well, it just so many pluses. The only thing that it doesn't have is resistances, um, but all the other stuff is incredibly powerful and helpful throughout the whole game, and even in the end game it's still a very powerful item. Now, so some possible questions that you may be having. What are my what are my pantheons? I got Soul of the Brine King for additional anti-stun, lower effective chill, and cannot be frozen. And I got Soul of Aberoth. Since I'm playing CI, the Soul of Aberoth is probably the best one for me, because the Burning Ground is a ground thing that doesn't allow my energy shield to recover, as well as the ignite. So I want the ignite to last as least as possible. I don't want to last forever, because all time it lasts, my CI cannot start recovering by itself. So this is about the Pantheon. Let's see next. What about my like those center things that they didn't show on the path of building? So this one, Reservation Master, increase mana reservation efficiency of skills. Energy Shield Mastery, gain 3% of maximum mana as extra maximum energy shield. Attributes Mastery, plus 5 intelligence per allocated mastery passive skill. Exposure inflict applies at least 18% to the affected resistance. And this one, last one here, is auras from your skills have a 15% increase effect on you. So this one is for Reservation Mastery. Cosmetics. What are my cosmetic things? So I got Irie Weapon for my scepter. Got Irie hood for my head. Cold Snap Body Armor is my primary body armor. Irie Apparition Effect. So this is the thing that occasionally pops up behind my back, like an angel or something. Holy Eyes for my eyes to glow. Pure Light Shield. So this is how it looks over here. Frosty because of this thing, the ice weapon. So naturally it looks like this. And that's, by the way, the angel, this Irie Apparition Effect. So to look at Frosty, what was it? I think there was this one, Ice Weapon. Yep, looks Frosty. And then Angelic Boots, just casual boots. I'm not fan of them, but they're just casual, whatever. I don't care boots. Arctic Footprints effect. So that'd be better. Yeah, so like frosty steps. White character effect. Here is how that looks. Oops. How that looks. Without it. Here is how it looks with it. Just the white kind of glow, the white like air coming up So without it, it's just nothing, and with it, it's just an like additional white thing on my character. Irie gloves, just random casual gloves that I don't know, whatever, and a white afterlife cat pat, mainly white, some black spots on it. Yep. All right. My portal is Delirium portal effect. Show you how that looks. So this is my Delirium portal effect. Silver crescent portrait frame is my character frame. For for this gems, I got black hole vortex effect, which is this one. For the immortal call, I got huntsman immortal call effect, so it looks like this by default. And I hate the metallic sounds that it makes. So it's pretty much unplayable without it. But with it, it's not looking very well. But at least that doesn't have that awful metallic sound. Yeah. And I think that's only two that I got for the gems.